Have you ever thought about the numerous creative ways billionaires can splash their cash on? Fancy vacations on private islands, outrageously extravagant washrooms, and luxury yachts. These are just the tip of the iceberg. While most of us would probably never relate to such a lifestyle, it's fun living vicariously through documented lives of the ultra-rich. Here are 10 services only billionaires can afford. Let's have a look. Number 10, cybersecurity. Being ultra-rich is all fun and games, until you realize you make more enemies along the way than you'll ever make friends. After all, there's greater incentive in trying to bring down a billionaire compared to a random nobody. At any given time, there are going to be countless people out there eyeing your wealth, ready to make their move at the first sign of vulnerability. So, for that reason, cybersecurity is an increasingly important service that the wealthy buy to ensure their wealth remains their own. In simple words, cybersecurity is the practice of protecting critical systems and sensitive information from digital attacks. These security systems are pretty complex, which amplifies the cost. But when the information you're watching over is worth so much more, it's a must-have service to invest in. It's a well-known fact that organizations with a solid cybersecurity strategy can fight cyber threats a lot more effectively, thereby reducing the impact of breaches when they inevitably occur. Number 9, private wealth management. Corporations, trusts, funds, or other institutional investors are great financial services. If you're an ordinary guy, that is. But for billionaires, what they need to ensure their wealth keeps multiplying is an effective investment advisory practice that incorporates financial planning, portfolio management, and other aggregated services. In other words, a private wealth management system. There are multiple types of institutions, ranging from large banks to small family offices that offer private wealth management. And it's a service of particular use to high net worth individuals. Its primary objective is to manage and grow its clients' assets to provide for future generations, offering guidance across a wide spectrum of investments. That includes cash, fixed income, equities, and alternative investments. Clients benefit from a portfolio of assets that meet the individual's risk tolerance, while also ensuring the maximum opportunity for growth. Number 8, country clubs and memberships to private groups. If there's one amazing place to learn how to acquire massive wealth, it's a country club. After all, where else do the ultra-wealthy go as a retreat to take their mind off things? Basically a private networking setting for the rich. And it's not just the tennis courts, the spas, or the cigars. Country clubs and private groups offer a lot more to those that can afford it. In fact, they say that there are more business deals that are made on a golf course than in a formal meeting or a boardroom. That says pretty much everything you need to know about the importance of playing golf when it comes to the private lives of the wealthy. Also, let's not forget how hard it can be to make friends when you're rich. No one can relate to your struggles, so country clubs have really grown to be the ideal setting for similar privileged individuals to get together and have a great time. Number 7, private suites or luxury yachts. Living in a hotel is a pretty extravagant and unattainable concept for many. But when you're super rich, even the check-in process can feel like too much of a hassle. Sometimes billionaires just want to enjoy the comfort and coziness of an Airbnb, but would rather avoid the unpredictability of the entire process. The solution? Just rent out a private suite or a yacht. When it comes to the prices of such luxuries, it would seem that the sky's the limit. The most expensive in the world is said to be owned by Robert Kwok, the richest man in Malaysia. With a price tag of $4.8 billion, History Supreme includes many features of this yacht to be made from solid gold, as well as a wall display built from Tyrannosaurus Rex bones. And oftentimes, it's not just about the yacht itself. It's how the trip can take you to exclusive destinations that make you feel out of this world. Number 6, exotic pets. Nothing screams wealth like owning a rare, exotic pet that common folk would most likely never dream of having. Of course, for billionaires, owning a domestic dog or a cat just doesn't do it. Exotic pets are where the fun's at. It's a hobby that comes with a hefty price tag, but when you're making more money every minute than the amount you spend on a single animal, it's certainly tempting to show off. On average, buying a cheetah cub can cost between $15,000 and $25,000. A tiger cub can cost $3,200, while a grown tiger can cost up to $50,000. But for people who fancy owning big cats like these, it's not just the cost of the animal itself that needs to be taken into account. It can cost over $94,000 to set up a facility in the first year, with annual care costing over $8,000. Number 5, publicist and PR. When you're a public figure who has managed to accumulate massive wealth, you need to ensure the ordinary people don't hate you for that. And public relations is one of the most efficient ways to build on marketing strategies to create a solid public reputation, especially online. It's no secret that at the end of the day, companies, regardless of their size, depend on their reputation for success. Moreover, PR also helps mitigate criticism and negative attention by political skeptics who are suspicious of concentrated wealth. Number 4, art. It takes guts to make it as a professional artist, but unfortunately, art and artists have very little significance in our day-to-day lives. In all honesty, most of us substitute the need for real art by simply printing out quotes from the internet or decorating family pictures on our walls. Now that's another fundamental difference between the common folk and the mega rich. Billionaires are known for splurging and delving into the world of art by investing in paintings, sculptures, and other forms of creativity that often end up appreciated over time. That's another secret that keeps their wealth multiplying over the years, while the rest of us wonder what those abstract paintings could possibly mean. Nevertheless, the fine art market continues to boom, and it seems like another auction record is set for the highest price ever paid every other day. There's no accounting for taste, but when you have money, it's all justified. Number 3, high net worth dating. It's pretty challenging making new friends when you've managed to climb up the economic hierarchy, and not being relatable is just one of the many reasons why. When it comes to your love life, the challenge is all the more escalated. Here's how the billionaires do it. When you're super rich and someone catches your eye, you don't just walk up to them and ask them out on a date. Instead, you get your personal assistant to contact their personal assistant so a date can be set up in advance. It's almost like high school where your friends set you up with other people, except there's a lot more money involved here. Number 2, owning a sports team. Most of us love playing sports of some kind, but when you're ultra wealthy, the fun doesn't end there. Billionaires often feel the need to own their favorite sports team, not only as a symbolic gesture, but as a hobby that keeps them invested in future tournaments. And number 1, access to guarded geographies. We often say that the most valuable thing for the rich is time, which is why they're always willing to buy off any minor inconvenience. And that's precisely the reason why private jets are such a huge deal in wealthy circles. Who even wants to deal with the nuisance of traditional commute when you can escape off to a remote island away from regular human interaction to spend quality time with your family and reflect on your next business move? This is another reason why we're always hearing about billionaires buying entire islands for themselves. There are also private resorts out there that can only be accessed through invitation and require a minimum net worth to join.